Start tomorrow. You'll change when the timing is right. You'll go all in when you feel ready. But let me tell you something. The perfect time will never come. Life isn't waiting for you. It's moving forward whether you're ready or not. And every second you hesitate, every moment you delay, you're wasting the only thing you truly have. Now. How many times have you looked back and wished you had started sooner? How many times have you told yourself, if only I had done this last year, I'd be further ahead by now? That's the same lie you'll tell yourself next year if you don't take action today. You say you want success. You say you want to change your life. But wanting isn't enough. Action is the only thing that matters. The problem is, you think you have time. You think you can keep pushing things off, waiting for motivation to hit, waiting for a sign, waiting for the stars to align. But let me tell you, there is no right moment, only this moment. Think about the regrets you already have. Not the things you tried and failed at, but the things you never even attempted. That girl you never asked out, that business you never started, that risk you were too afraid to take, that version of yourself you never became. Every second, you're at a crossroads. Either you take a step forward, or you stay exactly where you are. And here's the harsh truth. If you're not moving forward, you're falling behind. Successful people aren't smarter than you. They don't have some secret advantage. The only difference between them and you is that they stopped waiting. They stopped making excuses. They started. They didn't wait for motivation because they knew motivation is fleeting. They didn't wait to feel ready because they knew ready is a lie. Right now, you're standing in your own way. Nobody is stopping you. The world isn't against you. You are against you. And until you get out of your own head, until you push through the doubt, the fear, the laziness, you will stay exactly where you are. How many times are you going to watch other people live the life you want? How many times are you going to be inspired by someone else's success, only to go right back to doing nothing? Stop scrolling. Stop planning. Stop waiting. The time to act is now. The gym isn't going to lift the weights for you. The book isn't going to write itself. The business isn't going to build itself. Your dreams are just dreams until you take action. You will never have another moment like this one. You will never be as young as you are right now. You will never get this day back. So what are you going to do with it? Are you going to keep lying to yourself? Keep pushing things off? Keep waiting for another day? Or are you finally going to wake up and realize that this is it? This is your life. Right now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. It's time to stop talking and start doing. It's time to stop dreaming and start working. Because in the end, there are only two types of people in this world. The ones who do, and the ones who wish they had. Which one are you? You say you want to change. You say you want to be better. But here's the real question. How bad do you want it? Because if you really wanted it, you wouldn't keep making excuses. You wouldn't keep putting it off. You wouldn't keep waiting for the right time. The only time is now. Your future is being written in this moment. Every action, every decision, every second you waste, or every second you use, it's all shaping who you're going to become. And let me tell you something. The real you is waiting on the other side of your excuses. The strongest version of you, the most disciplined, the most successful, the most unstoppable version of you is there. But you'll never meet that person if you keep hesitating. Think about this. What if you went all in right now? What if, instead of saying, I'll start next week. You started today. What if you stopped scrolling, stopped wasting time, stopped letting distractions pull you away from your purpose? Imagine where you'd be a year from now, if you committed, if you gave everything, if you stopped making excuses and started making progress. You think you have time. You think you can start next month. You think another year won't make a difference. But time is ruthless. It doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about your plans. It doesn't care that you meant to start. The days you waste now are days you can never get back. How many more times are you going to let yourself down? How many more times are you going to talk about your goals instead of actually chasing them? You say you want success, but do you? Do you actually want it, or do you just like the idea of it? Because success isn't comfortable. It's not easy. It's not given. It's earned every single day, and the price is high. It will cost you your laziness, your comfort, your distractions. It will cost you early mornings and late nights. It will cost you weekends and sacrifices. But what's the alternative? You keep waiting, keep hesitating, and one day you wake up and realize it's too late. You let too many opportunities slip by. You let too many days go to waste. And now, all you have left is regret. Don't let that be your story. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop letting time slip through your fingers. The time to act is now. The time to change is now. The time to become who you were meant to be is right now. No more waiting. No more excuses. No more hesitation. Go all in. Today. Right now. Because the only time that matters, the only time that will ever matter, is now. Think about this. What if today was the last day you had to chase your dream? What if tomorrow never came? Would you still sit around waiting? Would you still be scrolling, wasting time, telling yourself, I'll start next week? Or would you get up right now and finally take action? The truth is, most people never start because they think they have time. They live like they're going to be here forever. They assume they'll always have another chance, another day, another opportunity. But life doesn't promise you time. Life doesn't care about your plans. Life doesn't care that you meant to start. And that's why most people never reach their full potential. They wait, they hesitate, they put things off. And before they know it, years have passed, and they're still in the same place, with the same regrets, wishing they had started sooner. But not you. You're different. You're going to take control of your life right now, because there is no later. There is no perfect time. There is no waiting for motivation to magically show up. This is it. This moment. This decision. This is where your future begins. You say you want to be successful? Prove it. You say you want to change? Do something about it. You say you want to be great? Then start acting like it. Winners don't wait. Winners don't hesitate. Winners don't sit around hoping things will magically work out. They go after it. They chase their goals like their life depends on it. And guess what? Your life does depend on it. Because the life you want, the person you want to become, it's all on the other side of action. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to do the work for you. It's on you. So get up, get focused, get moving. You don't need a new year. You don't need a Monday. You don't need a sign from the universe. You just need to decide. The only time is now. And if you don't take action, if you don't start, you are wasting the only thing you will never get back. Time. So stop waiting. Stop thinking. Start doing. Make today the day everything changes. Make today the day you stop talking and start becoming. Because the only thing standing between you and your dream is the excuse you're making right now. Let go of the excuses. Let go of the fear and go all in. The only time is now. You've been telling yourself for years that you're going to change, that this time will be different, that you'll finally take that step. And yet, here you are, still waiting, still watching, still letting time slip through your fingers. Let me ask you this. How much longer are you going to wait? How many more days are you going to let pass before you finally take control? Because here's the hard truth. Time is not waiting for you. Every second you waste is a second you will never get back. Every opportunity you let pass is an opportunity you may never see again. And if you don't take action now, you will wake up one day wondering where it all went. Regret is the most painful thing you can live with. Not failure, not rejection, not setbacks. Regret. Because regret means you had a chance and you did nothing. Regret means you let fear win. Regret means you let excuses define your life instead of discipline. So don't let that be your story. Don't let that be your future. The only time is now. You want to be successful? Then start acting like it. You want to build something great? Then stop wasting your potential. You want to change your life? Then do something about it. This is your moment. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. Right now. Because the longer you wait, the harder it gets. The more you delay, the more you settle. The more you hesitate, the more you convince yourself that this is good enough. But you and I both know you were made for more than good enough. You were made to push yourself, to grow, to evolve, to become the person you were meant to be. And you don't get there by sitting still. You don't get there by hoping and wishing. You get there by working, by showing up every single day and putting in the effort, by pushing through the doubt, the fear, the discomfort, and choosing discipline over excuses. Because the truth is, it's not about talent. It's not about luck. It's not about having all the right connections or the perfect circumstances. It's about how bad you want it. It's about whether or not you're willing to sacrifice, to put in the hours when nobody's watching, to grind when you feel like quitting, to keep going when it's uncomfortable, painful, and exhausting. Because that's what it takes. That's what separates those who dream from those who achieve. And the only way you get there is by making the choice. Right now. Not later. Not someday. Now, so stop waiting. Stop making excuses. Stop putting your life on hold. Because your future self is watching you right now. And the only question is, will they be proud of the choices you made today? Or will they be living with regret? The choice is yours. And the only time to make it is now. You've spent too much time waiting for the right moment, waiting for motivation, waiting for life to somehow hand you an opportunity wrapped in a bow. But life doesn't work that way. Life isn't going to pause for you. It isn't going to tap you on the shoulder and say, "Hey, now is your time." Number, you decide when it's your time. And if you're waiting for the perfect moment, let me tell you something. It doesn't exist. There will never be a time when everything is lined up perfectly. There will always be obstacles. There will always be struggles. There will always be reasons to say, maybe later. But the problem with later is that it turns into never. You keep telling yourself you'll start tomorrow, next week, next year, and before you know it, your life is over, and you never started at all. That's the brutal truth. So ask yourself this: what are you waiting for? Are you waiting to feel ready? Because that's never going to happen. Nobody ever feels ready to change their life. Nobody ever feels fully prepared to chase a dream. But the ones who do it anyway, they're the ones who win. They're the ones who take risks, even when they're scared. They're the ones who bet on themselves, even when the odds are against them. They're the ones who take action, even when they don't feel ready. And guess what? That's why they succeed. Because success isn't about being the smartest, the most talented, or the luckiest. It's about being the one who starts, the one who doesn't wait, the one who doesn't waste time overthinking, the one who takes the first step, even when it's terrifying. And then they take another, and another, and before they know it, they're standing exactly where they once dreamed of being. So don't wait, don't hesitate, don't keep putting your life on hold, because time is running out. You might not get another chance. So get up, take the first step, and don't look back. Because the only time is now. You've spent too long watching from the sidelines, watching others succeed, watching others chase their dreams, watching life pass you by. And every time you see someone doing what you wish you could do, that voice creeps into your head. I could have done that. I should have started when they did. I wish I had taken that chance. But wishing doesn't change anything. Regret doesn't move you forward. Action does. And the only difference between you and the people living the life you want is that they started. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for confidence. They didn't wait for someone to tell them it was okay to go after what they wanted. They just went for it. They felt fear, just like you do. They had doubts, just like you do. They had obstacles, just like you do. But they didn't let those things stop them. And that's where most people fail. They stop before they even start. They overthink. They hesitate. They let fear paralyze them. They wait for the perfect time, not realizing that every second they wait is a second wasted. And one day they wake up and realize that life has passed them by, that all the dreams they had, they never even tried to make them real. So, don't be one of those people. Don't be the person who looks back and says, I wish I had. Be the person who looks back and says, I'm glad I did. Because that's the difference between a life full of regrets and a life full of victories. You get to decide which one you'll live. And that decision starts now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. Now, because every time you say, I'll do it later, what you're really saying is, it's not important enough. You're saying your goals can wait. You're saying your dreams can wait. You're saying your future can wait. But time doesn't wait for you. Time doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your fears. It doesn't care that you're waiting for motivation. It just keeps moving forward. And every second you waste is a second you can never get back. So stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop hoping things will magically change. Change them yourself. Take control. Make the decision. And start now. Because the only time you'll ever have is now. No one is coming. No one is going to wake you up in the morning and tell you to chase your dreams. No one is going to drag you out of bed and push you to work harder. No one is going to sit beside you and force you to put in the hours. No one is going to lift you up when you fall, pat you on the back, and say, "Don't worry, I'll make sure you succeed." Because that's not how life works. It's just you. You against you. And until you accept that, you'll stay exactly where you are. You see, people wait. They wait for the right time. They wait for motivation to strike. They wait for someone to recognize their potential, for someone to guide them, for someone to help them take the first step. But that day never comes. No one is coming to tell you, "Hey, it's time to change your life." That's your job. You have to decide. You have to take action. Because if you don't, nothing will ever change. Most people live their entire lives wishing things were different. They complain about their circumstances. They blame their past, their parents, their boss, the government, the economy, their bad luck. They sit there and say, "If only I had a better start," or "If only someone gave me an opportunity." But no one is coming to give you that opportunity. No one is handing out success. You have to create it. You have to push yourself. You have to make yourself get up early. You have to force yourself to do the work when you don't feel like it. You have to build the discipline to keep going when no one is watching, when no one is cheering for you, when no one believes in you, because that is when it really counts. If you want something, you have to take it. If you want to be stronger, you have to train harder. If you want to be smarter, you have to study longer. If you want to be successful, you have to work for it, day in, day out, with no excuses, no complaints, no shortcuts. No one cares how tired you are. No one cares how hard it is. No one cares about the obstacles in your way. Life doesn't stop for your problems. The world keeps moving. Either you move with it, or you get left behind. The harsh truth is this: no one is responsible for your success but you. No one is coming to make your life easier. No one is going to magically fix your problems. You have to do it. You have to get up, get out, and make something of yourself. You have to fight for your dreams, because no one else will fight for them. And if you quit, if you give up, then you're the only one to blame. You need to stop waiting. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission. Stop waiting for the stars to align. Stop waiting for things to be perfect. They never will be. There will always be obstacles. There will always be challenges. There will always be things standing in your way. But if you want something bad enough, you will find a way. And if you don't, you will find an excuse. Successful people don't have fewer problems. They don't have easier lives. They just refuse to let their problems stop them. They refuse to be victims. They refuse to make excuses. They take control. They take responsibility. They push forward no matter what. That's the difference. You say you want success, but do you really? Are you willing to suffer for it? Are you willing to wake up before the sun rises and put in the work when no one else is? Are you willing to sacrifice your weekends, your comfort, your social life? Are you willing to endure failure, rejection, pain, and loneliness? Because that's what it takes. Most people aren't willing. Most people want easy. They want shortcuts. They want overnight success. They want to be fit without training. They want to be rich without working. They want the rewards without the effort. But life doesn't work that way. Success isn't given. It's earned. Every single day. With blood, sweat, and tears. It doesn't matter where you start. It doesn't matter how hard your life has been. It doesn't matter what happened to you in the past. All that matters is what you do next. Are you going to sit there and keep making excuses? Or are you going to stand up and take control? There is no secret formula. There is no magic pill. It's just hard work, discipline, and relentless consistency. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the most talented. You just have to be willing to outwork everyone else. You have to be willing to show up every single day, no matter what, and put in the effort. You have to push yourself further than you think you can go. You have to stop negotiating with your mind. Stop giving yourself an out. Stop saying, "I'll start tomorrow." Tomorrow is not promised. Tomorrow is a lie. All you have is today. And what you do today determines your future. So what are you going to do? Are you going to keep waiting? Keep hoping that someone will come and save you? Or are you going to get up and take responsibility for your own life? No one is coming. It's up to you. It has always been up to you. Get up. Get to work. Make it happen. There will be days when you feel like quitting. Days when the world seems against you, when nothing goes your way, when you're exhausted, frustrated, and overwhelmed. Those are the days that define you. Those are the moments when you decide whether you keep going or let life break you. And most people, they quit. They make excuses. They tell themselves it's too hard, it's not worth it. Maybe it's just not meant for them. But you are not most people. When everything is telling you to stop, that's when you go harder. When your body is screaming. When your mind is filled with doubt. When every part of you wants to take the easy way out. That's when you dig deep and find something inside yourself that refuses to quit. That's when you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses, stronger than your pain, stronger than your fears. Because the truth is, the pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret lasts forever. If you give up now, you will spend the rest of your life wondering what could have been. You will look back and realize that the only thing standing between you and your goals was your own lack of effort. That's a pain you do not want to live with. Nobody is born strong. Nobody is born great. Strength is built through suffering. Greatness is forged in the fire of struggle. You don't become better by avoiding discomfort. You become better by facing it, by embracing it, by using it as fuel. Every challenge, every setback, every failure is an opportunity to grow, to get better, to prove to yourself that nothing can break you. Stop expecting the world to hand you success. Stop expecting life to be fair. Life is not fair. It never was, and it never will be. The world does not owe you anything. Nobody cares how hard your life is. Nobody is coming to fix it for you. You have to fix it yourself. You have to be the one who decides that your circumstances will not define you, that your past will not control you, that your pain will not break you. There will be moments when you feel alone, when you look around and see no one cheering for you, no one supporting you, no one believing in you. Good, because that's when you learn to believe in yourself. That's when you realize that all you ever needed was inside of you the whole time. You don't need permission. You don't need validation. You don't need someone else to tell you that you can do it. You just need to decide. Decide that you are going to do whatever it takes. Decide that you are willing to go further than anyone else. Decide that you will not stop until you succeed. The people who make it to the top are not the most talented. They are not the luckiest. They are the ones who refuse to quit. The ones who show up every single day, no matter what. The ones who put in the work when no one is watching. The ones who keep going even when everything in them wants to stop. So what are you waiting for? What excuse are you telling yourself right now? That it's too hard? That you don't have enough time? That you're not ready? Those are lies. Lies you tell yourself to stay comfortable. Lies that keep you weak. Lies that keep you stuck. You are ready. You are capable. But you have to want it more than you want comfort. You have to want it more than you want sleep. You have to want it more than you want the approval of others. Because at the end of the day, no one else is going to do it for you. No one else is going to put in the work. No one else is going to push you when you feel like giving up. It's you. It's always been you. Every day you have two choices: stay the same or get better. Every single morning, you get to decide whether you take another step forward or let another day slip by. No one is forcing you to change. No one is forcing you to be great. That choice is yours. But understand this: if you do nothing, nothing changes. If you keep making the same excuses, you will stay exactly where you are. And one day, you will wake up and realize that you wasted your potential, that you let fear, doubt, and laziness steal your dreams, that you had one life and you spent it waiting for something that was never coming. So stop waiting. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for someone to come and save you. No one is coming. It's up to you. Get up, get after it, and make it happen. There will be moments when you doubt yourself, when the voice in your head tells you that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough. That voice is lying. It's trying to keep you safe, trying to keep you comfortable. But comfort is the enemy of progress. If you listen to that voice, if you let it control you, you will never become who you were meant to be. Every person you admire, every success story you hear, every champion, every leader, every innovator, they all had that same voice inside them. The difference? They didn't listen. They chose to push forward, to silence the doubt with action, to drown out fear with effort. They didn't wait for confidence. They built it. Brick by brick, action by action, they proved to themselves that they were capable. You don't gain confidence by waiting. You gain confidence by doing, by showing up when you don't feel like it, by pushing yourself when you want to quit, by proving to yourself over and over that you are stronger than your excuses. Every time you push through, every time you get up and do the work, despite feeling tired, despite feeling unmotivated, despite wanting to give up, you build something inside of you that no one can take away. You build resilience. You build character. You build a mindset that can withstand anything. But none of this happens if you don't take the first step. None of this happens if you keep waiting for the right time. The right time is now. The perfect moment is never coming. Life is happening right now. And if you don't take control, it will pass you by. Look around you. How many people do you know who gave up on their dreams? How many people do you see living lives of regret? How many people do you know who once had ambition, who once had fire, but let it die because they were too afraid to fail, too afraid to struggle, too afraid to be uncomfortable? Don't be one of them. Don't be the person who looks back in 10 years and wonders what could have been. Don't be the person who wakes up one day and realizes they wasted their potential. The pain of discipline is temporary. The pain of regret lasts forever. The truth is, most people never truly try. They dabble. They put in half effort. They do just enough to say they tried, but not enough to actually succeed. And then they wonder why they don't get results. Don't be most people. Most people live average lives because they put in average effort. Most people settle because settling is easier than pushing forward. Most people stay stuck because they are unwilling to go through the pain required to break through. Success isn't given, it's earned. Through sweat, through sacrifice, through discipline. Through the nights you stay up working while everyone else is sleeping. Through the mornings you wake up early while everyone else is hitting snooze. Through the hours of practice, the countless failures, the relentless effort. There are no shortcuts. There is no easy way. If you want something, you have to be willing to suffer for it. You have to be willing to work for it when no one is watching, when no one is clapping for you, when no one believes in you. Because that's the test. Can you keep going when the results don't come right away? Can you stay disciplined when no one is rewarding you yet? Can you wake up every day and put in the work, even when it feels like nothing is happening? That's where most people quit. They start something new, they get excited, they put in effort for a little while, and then when it gets hard, when the excitement fades and the real work begins, they give up. They tell themselves it wasn't meant to be. They tell themselves they tried. But the truth is, they never really committed in the first place. If you want something, you have to commit. Fully, completely. You have to go all in. You have to burn the boats. You have to remove quitting as an option. Because the second you give yourself a way out, you will take it. It's not about talent. It's not about luck. It's about mindset. It's about how bad you want it. It's about how much you are willing to suffer to make it happen. And if you don't want it that bad, if you're not willing to put in the work, then stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending. Stop saying you want success if you're not willing to pay the price. But if you do want it, if you are willing, then prove it. Not to anyone else, to yourself. Show up. Every day. Do the work. Every day. Push yourself. Every day. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to do the work for you. No one is going to hand you the life you want. It's on you. It has always been on you. So stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop making excuses. Get up. Get to work. And make it happen. The world is full of people who never started. Full of people who quit before they even gave themselves a real chance. They sit in silence, looking at their reflection, wondering where the time went, wondering why they never became the person they once dreamed of becoming. They look back at their lives, filled with regrets, knowing deep down that the only thing that stopped them was themselves. Don't let that be you. If you have a dream, chase it. If you have a goal, attack it. If you want something, go after it like your life depends on it. Because in many ways it does. A wasted life isn't one that lacked opportunities. It's one that lacked action. Most people fail not because they weren't capable, but because they never truly tried. You see, life isn't a straight path. It's not a smooth ride. It's messy. It's unpredictable. It's full of failures, setbacks, and challenges that will test you at every turn. But that's the price. That's the cost of chasing something worthwhile. You don't get to skip the struggle. You don't get to avoid the hard times. You don't get to take the easy road and still expect to reach the top. And that's why most people never get there. Because the easy road is comfortable. It's safe. It doesn't challenge you. It doesn't require pain, sacrifice, or discipline. It lets you stay the same. It keeps you trapped in the same cycle, repeating the same days, never growing, never improving, never becoming more than what you are right now. The hard road, that's where the growth happens. That's where transformation takes place. That's where you find out who you really are. Every great person you admire, every champion, every leader, every high achiever, they all took the hard road. They all endured failure. They all went through pain. They all had moments when they wanted to quit, when they felt like giving up. But they didn't. They pushed through. They kept going. And that's why they succeeded. You have to understand that success is never about luck. It's never about having the perfect circumstances. It's about mindset. It's about refusing to quit. It's about showing up every single day, no matter what. It's about doing the work, even when you don't see immediate results, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Because success isn't built in a day. It's built in the thousands of days where you kept going, even when no one was watching. And here's the truth most people don't want to hear. No one is going to do it for you. No one is coming to make your dreams come true. No one is going to force you to be great. It's all on you. You either take control of your life, or you let life control you. You either take responsibility, or you make excuses. You either wake up and put in the work, or you let time slip away, blaming the world for what you never accomplished. And yes, it will be hard. It will test you. There will be days when you feel like it's not worth it. Days when everything in you wants to quit. Days when you feel like you're not making progress. That's normal. That's part of the process. But you have to remember this. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who never struggle. They are the ones who refuse to let struggle define them. They are the ones who push through, even when it hurts. They are the ones who do what others won't. So ask yourself, are you really giving it everything you have? Are you really pushing yourself? Are you really doing everything in your power to get to where you want to be? Or are you waiting? Waiting for motivation? Waiting for the right moment? Waiting for someone to come and push you? Because if you're waiting, you're losing. Every second you hesitate, every moment you delay, every excuse you make, it's all time you will never get back. And one day you'll look back and realize that you wasted it, that you could have been more, that you could have done more, and that pain, that regret, it will stay with you forever. So, stop waiting. Stop waiting for life to get easier. Stop waiting for things to magically change. Stop waiting for someone to save you. No one is coming. It's all on you. So get up. Take action. Push forward. Be the person who refuses to quit. Be the person who doesn't make excuses. Be the person who looks back years from now with pride, knowing that they gave it everything. Because in the end, the only thing standing between you and success is the decision to go all in. Make that decision now and never look back. Every single day, people wake up with dreams, ideas, and ambitions, but they bury them alive under excuses, fears, and self-doubt. They wait for the perfect moment, the right conditions, the sign from the universe telling them it's time. But here's the hard truth. There is no perfect moment. There is no ideal time. The comfort zone is the most dangerous place in the world. It tricks you into believing you are safe, but in reality, it is a slow death. The person you could have been, that person dies every single time you choose comfort over risk. Life doesn't reward the people who sit on the sidelines, waiting for permission. Life rewards those who jump in, who take chances, who bet on themselves when no one else does. If you want a story worth telling, if you want a life worth remembering, you have to take risks. No risk, no story. Ask yourself, what's stopping you? Fear, failure, judgment. Fear is not the enemy. Fear is the compass. Fear is the guide that shows you exactly where you need to go. Most people run away from fear, thinking that avoiding it will make them safe. But the truth is, fear is a signal. It's the universe pointing you towards something bigger, something better, something you are meant to do. The only people who succeed are the ones who walk straight into fear and take action anyway. What if you fail? So what? You get up, you learn, you grow. But what if you never even try? That's the real failure. That's what will haunt you when you're old, looking back, realizing you played it safe when you should have gone all in. Regret is far heavier than failure. Regret is permanent. Failure is just a lesson. You'll fail. You will get knocked down. But failure doesn't define you. What you do next does. The biggest risk in life is not taking one. Think about every person who changed the world. They took risks. They didn't play it safe. Steve Jobs dropped out of college and risked everything to build Apple. Oprah was fired from her first TV job and told she wasn't good enough. Elon Musk went broke after selling PayPal because he reinvested every dollar into his next ideas. They weren't born special. They weren't handed success. They took risks when others hesitated. They had no guarantee, no safety net, no certainty that things would work out. But they did it anyway. And that's why they succeeded. Most people never achieve greatness because they refuse to gamble on themselves. They wait. They hesitate. They convince themselves that it's too risky. But what's riskier? Taking a shot at your dreams, or waking up 10 years from now, stuck in a life you hate? The truth is, everything is a risk. Starting a business is a risk. Quitting your job is a risk. Chasing your dream is a risk. But you know what else is a risk? Wasting your entire life settling for less. The secret to success isn't talent. It isn't intelligence. It isn't luck. The secret to success is having the guts to take risks and keep going no matter how hard it gets. Every successful person you admire has failed, and not just once, over and over again. They've lost money, lost hope, lost confidence, but they never lost the ability to try again. Michael Jordan got cut from his high school basketball team. He could have quit. He didn't. J.K. Rowling was rejected 12 times before anyone gave Harry Potter a chance. The difference between winners and losers is that winners don't let failure stop them. Every failure is a lesson. Every loss is just fuel for the next attempt. The only real failure is quitting. If you do nothing, nothing changes. You can sit in the same job, in the same city, doing the same things every day, and 5 years from now, you'll be in the exact same place. Or you can take a risk. You can decide today that enough is enough. You can step into the unknown, take a leap, and see what happens. Because the truth is, no one is coming to save you. No one is going to push you. No one is going to hold your hand and make you go after what you want. At the end of the day, it's you versus you. No more waiting. No more excuses. No more sitting on the sidelines. You either take the risk or you watch life pass you by. No risk, no story. Taking risks isn't just about success. It's about becoming the person you were meant to be. It's about breaking free from the limits you've placed on yourself. It's about proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. People spend their entire lives playing it safe, following the rules, doing what they're told, only to end up with a life they never wanted. They do everything right. Go to school, get a degree, get a job, save money, but they still feel empty. They still feel like something is missing. And that's because they never took a risk. They never followed their passion. They never bet on themselves. Playing it safe doesn't guarantee success. It guarantees mediocrity. Most people are afraid to take risks because they are afraid to fail. But failure is not the enemy. Failure is the process. Every failure brings you one step closer to success. Every mistake teaches you something you need to know. The only way to truly fail is to never try at all. Imagine looking back on your life and realizing that you never took the leap. You never went after what you truly wanted because you were too scared. That is the real tragedy. That is the real loss. The world is full of people who had dreams, who had talent, who had potential, but they let fear win. They let the fear of failure stop them from even trying. And now, they are left with nothing but regret. The question is, what kind of story do you want to tell? Do you want to tell the story of someone who played it safe, who followed the rules, who never stepped outside of their comfort zone? Or do you want to tell the story of someone who went all in, who took risks, who chased their dreams with everything they had? You are the author of your own story. Every decision you make is a sentence in that story. Every risk you take is a new chapter. The only way to write a story worth telling is to take risks. No risk, no story. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for the fear to go away. It won't. Fear will always be there. Doubt will always be there. But the people who succeed are the ones who act in spite of it. The ones who feel the fear and do it anyway. The ones who refuse to let fear control them. The world doesn't belong to those who wait. It belongs to those who take risks. Those who jump. Those who go all in. The world belongs to the bold. The world belongs to the risk takers. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the most talented. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be willing to take a chance, to put yourself out there, to fail, to learn, and to keep going no matter what. Because at the end of the day, you only get one life, one chance to do something incredible, one chance to make your mark, one chance to tell a story worth remembering. So take the risk, make the jump, write your story, because no risk, no story. Most people live their lives as if they have unlimited time. They wake up, go through the motions, follow the same routine, and tell themselves that one day they'll chase their dreams. One day they'll take the risk. One day they'll finally start. But one day never comes. They keep waiting, keep procrastinating, keep making excuses, until suddenly time runs out. And when they finally look back, they realize that the life they wanted was always within reach. They were just too scared to grab it. There is no guarantee that tomorrow will come. No guarantee that you'll get another chance. No guarantee that the opportunity in front of you will be there next year, next month, or even next week. You have to act now. The biggest mistake people make is believing they have time. You don't. Time is the most precious resource you have, and once it's gone, you can never get it back. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes. The more you hesitate, the more excuses you create. And before you know it, you've wasted years waiting for the perfect moment that never existed in the first place. You don't need permission. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need the perfect plan. You just need to start. Because here's the truth. Action creates clarity. The more you do, the more you learn. The more you learn, the more confident you become. And the more confident you become, the less fear controls you. But it all starts with one thing: taking the risk. Stop overthinking. Stop doubting yourself. Stop playing small. Life is short, and if you're not living on the edge, if you're not taking chances, you're wasting it. No one remembers the person who played it safe. No one talks about the guy who spent his whole life in the shadows, afraid to take a chance. The people who make history, who change the world, who build legacies, those are the people who were willing to bet everything on themselves. They weren't fearless. They were scared, just like you. But they did it anyway. And that's the difference between success and mediocrity. Most people never take risks because they are waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity, the right circumstances. But let me tell you something. There is no right moment. There is no perfect time. There is only now. And if you don't take the leap today, you'll find another excuse tomorrow. And then another and another, until one day you realize that you've wasted your entire life waiting instead of doing. What would your life look like if you weren't afraid? What would you do if failure wasn't an option? What kind of person would you become if you decided right now that you were done playing small? Because that's the decision you have to make. Right here, right now. No more waiting. No more hesitation. No more letting fear control you. This is your moment. This is your chance, and you have to take it. Taking risks isn't just about success. It's about who you become in the process. When you take a risk, when you step outside of your comfort zone, you don't just move closer to your goals. You become stronger. You become more resilient. You become the kind of person who doesn't back down from challenges, who doesn't give up at the first sign of failure, who doesn't let fear dictate their life. And that's what separates winners from losers. It's not talent. It's not intelligence. It's courage. The courage to take risks. The courage to fail. The courage to get back up and keep going, no matter what. Look at the most successful people in the world. Every single one of them has a story filled with failure, rejection, and setbacks. But they also have one thing in common. They never quit. They never let failure define them. They never let fear stop them. They took risks that most people were too scared to take, and that's why they succeeded. That's why they have the life you dream about. And if you want that life, you have to do what they did. You have to take the leap. You might fail. You might fall flat on your face. You might lose money, lose time, lose confidence. But what's the alternative? Stay exactly where you are? Live a life of regret, always wondering what could have been? That's not living. That's existing. And you weren't born just to exist. You were born to do something great. But greatness doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who dare to take risks. People will doubt you. They will tell you that you're crazy, that you're making a mistake, that you should play it safe. And do you know why? Because they are too scared to take risks themselves. And the moment they see you stepping up, the moment they see you doing something they never had the courage to do, they will try to pull you back down. Misery loves company. Most people would rather see you fail than be reminded of their own fears. But that's not your problem. Your only job is to prove them wrong. When you take risks, you inspire others to do the same. You show them what's possible. You become the proof that it can be done. And that's what the world needs. More people willing to go after what they want. More people willing to take chances. More people willing to live. Playing it safe won't get you there. It won't make you happy. It won't give you a story worth telling. Imagine looking back on your life, years from now, and knowing that you gave it everything, that you took every opportunity, that you didn't let fear stop you, that you have a story worth telling, a legacy worth leaving behind. That's what taking risks gives you. That's what living without fear looks like. So stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop doubting yourself. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is your willingness to take a risk. No one is going to do it for you. No one is going to hand you success. You have to go out and take it. You have to be willing to bet on yourself, to trust yourself, to go all in on your dreams. Because at the end of the day, you either take the risk or you spend your life wishing you had. No risk, no story. Life isn't always a physical battle. For most of us, the war isn't fought with swords or shields, guns or missiles. The battlefield isn't out there, it's inside us. Every single day a silent war rages within our minds, hearts, and souls. It's the war against doubt, fear, procrastination, and laziness. The war against excuses and settling for less. The war against staying the same when you know you're capable of so much more. This war doesn't announce itself. It doesn't arrive with banners or alarms. It sneaks into your thoughts during quiet moments when no one is looking. It whispers, "You're not good enough. It tells you to stay in bed when you promised yourself you'd rise early. It convinces you that you can't change, that life is too hard, and you're not meant for greatness. But here's the truth. This war is winnable. The greatest warriors aren't the ones with physical strength or sharp weapons. They're the ones who conquer the battlefield within. They silence the voice of self-doubt and rise above their fears. The war within you is the hardest battle you'll ever fight, but it's also the most rewarding. Because when you win this war, you don't just change your life, you become unstoppable. You've heard the phrase, "You are your own worst enemy." But have you ever stopped to truly consider what it means? No one can hold you back more than you can. That voice telling you to quit, to give up, to settle, that voice doesn't come from anyone else. It comes from within. The enemy within doesn't wear a mask or hide in the shadows. It's the part of you that resists growth and change. It's the voice that says, "I'll start tomorrow," or "This is too hard," or "What's the point?" It knows your weaknesses. It knows exactly when and where to strike. But here's the truth. That voice is not the real you. It's the part of you that's afraid of failure, judgment, and even success. The first step in winning the war within is recognizing fear for what it is, a liar. Fear lies to you every day, and your job is to stop listening. If the war is within, you need armor for battle. That armor is discipline. Discipline separates those who achieve their dreams from those who merely dream. It's not motivation. Motivation is fleeting. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation fades. Every day, you face small battles. Getting out of bed when you don't feel like it, going to the gym when you're tired, saying no to distractions, and focusing on what truly matters. Winning these small battles is how you win the war. Discipline doesn't mean perfection. It doesn't mean you'll never make mistakes. It means you'll get back up every time you fall. It means showing up, even when it's hard. It means keeping the promises you make to yourself. Each promise kept builds trust, and trust is the foundation of self-confidence. Without discipline, there's no progress. Without progress, there's no victory. Fear is the most powerful weapon your enemy has. It keeps you stuck. It keeps you small. It convinces you that you're safer where you are, even if you're miserable. But here's the truth. Fear isn't a stop sign. It's a green light. Fear signals that you're about to do something meaningful. The things that scare you most often hold the greatest potential to change your life. Whether it's starting a new business, pursuing a dream, or standing up for yourself, fear will always be there when you step out of your comfort zone. You can't run from fear. You can't hide from it. The only way to conquer fear is to face it head on. Every time you confront your fears, you weaken their grip on you. Each step into discomfort makes you stronger. And the stronger you become, the easier it is to face the next challenge. Winning the war within doesn't happen overnight. It happens one small victory at a time. Every time you make the choice to push through resistance, you're winning. Every time you silence the voice of doubt, you're proving to yourself that you're capable of more. Small wins are the building blocks of greatness. It's not about taking massive leaps every day. It's about taking small, consistent steps in the right direction. It's about showing up, even when it's uncomfortable. Maybe today your small win is getting out of bed on time. Maybe it's choosing a healthy meal over junk food. Maybe it's spending 30 minutes working on a project you've been avoiding. Whatever it is, celebrate it. Recognize that every small win brings you closer to your goals. Over time, those small wins create massive change. The war within is fought with words as much as actions. The way you talk to yourself matters more than you realize. If you're constantly telling yourself, "I can't do this," or "I'm not good enough," you're surrendering before the battle even begins. Positive self-talk isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing words that empower rather than defeat you. It's about reminding yourself of your strength, resilience, and potential. It's about becoming your own biggest cheerleader instead of your harshest critic. When negative thoughts creep in, stop and ask, is this thought helping me or hurting me? Replace harmful thoughts with constructive ones. For example, instead of, "I'll never succeed," say, "I'm learning and growing every day." Instead of, "I'm a failure," say, "I'm human and I'm doing my best." The words you speak to yourself shape your reality, so choose them wisely. The war within is the hardest battle you'll ever face, but it's also the most important. Every day is an opportunity to prove to yourself what you're capable of. Every day is a chance to grow, to fight, to become the person you were meant to be. Remember, this war isn't won in a single day. It's won in the small choices you make consistently over time. Choose to fight. Choose to grow. Choose to win. Because the greatest victory isn't what you achieve, it's who you become. When you look back on your life, you'll know that every struggle, every setback, every moment of doubt was worth it. Because it made you stronger. It made you wiser. It made you unstoppable. The war is within you, but so is the strength to win it. Resilience is your shield. In the war within, it's what allows you to bounce back from setbacks, to recover from defeat, and to keep moving forward no matter how many times life knocks you down. Resilience isn't about avoiding failure. It's about refusing to let failure define you. Think back to the hardest moments in your life, the ones that felt like they might break you, but they didn't. You survived, you endured, and in doing so, you became stronger. That's resilience. It's not loud or flashy. It's quiet, unyielding determination. Resilience doesn't mean you won't feel pain. It doesn't mean you won't cry, doubt, or feel overwhelmed. It means you'll pick yourself back up every single time. It means trusting that no matter how bad things get, you'll figure out a way forward. And the more you practice resilience, the more unshakable you become. Resilience is built through adversity. Every challenge, every failure, every hardship is an opportunity to grow stronger. So the next time life knocks you down, remember, falling isn't the end. It's a chance to rise. And each time you rise, you prove to yourself that nothing can keep you down. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a critical part of it. Every great achievement is built on a foundation of failures. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Michael Jordan missed more game-winning shots than most players ever take. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they handle failure. Failure is not a reflection of your worth. It's feedback. It's a lesson in what doesn't work, a sign that you're pushing your limits and a step closer to success. The only true failure is giving up. When you fail, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow? Then apply what you've learned and try again. Failure is never the end of the story unless you let it be. It's a chapter, not the whole book. Embrace it. Learn from it. Let it fuel your determination. Victory in the war within doesn't come for free. It demands Sacrifice. You cannot grow while clinging to comfort. You cannot become extraordinary by doing what's easy. Growth requires giving up something in the short term to gain something greater in the long term. Ask yourself, what are you willing to sacrifice to achieve your goals? Maybe it's an extra hour of sleep to wake up early and work on your dreams. Maybe it's saying no to distractions like social media or mindless entertainment. Maybe it's letting go of toxic relationships that drain your energy. Sacrifice isn't easy, but it's necessary. Every time you give up something that doesn't serve your purpose, you create space for something that does. Every time you choose discomfort over complacency, you take a step closer to becoming the person you want to be. Sacrifice is the price of progress. Pay it gladly. Purpose is your compass in the war within. It gives your actions meaning. It gives you a reason to keep going, even when things get tough. Without purpose, life feels aimless. But with purpose, every challenge becomes worthwhile. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It just has to matter to you. Maybe your purpose is to provide for your family. Maybe it's to pursue a passion that sets your soul on fire. Maybe it's to make a difference in your community. Whatever it is, purpose gives you a reason to fight. Take time to reflect on your purpose. Ask yourself, what drives me? What am I willing to work for, sacrifice for, fight for? When you have a clear sense of purpose, you're not just fighting battles. You're fighting for something bigger than yourself. Momentum is your ally in the war within. When you're stuck in a rut, even taking the smallest step forward can feel impossible. But once you start moving, everything becomes easier. Momentum builds on itself, turning small actions into big results. The key to building momentum is to focus on one small action at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself with the big picture. Instead, ask, what can I do today? Maybe it's making your bed, going for a 10-minute walk, or spending 15 minutes working on a goal. Whatever it is, start small. Each small action creates momentum. And once you have momentum, it's easier to keep going. Success is not about massive leaps. It's about consistent steps in the right direction. Keep taking those steps. And before you know it, you'll have traveled farther than you ever thought possible. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools you have in the war within. It shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right. It reminds you of your blessings, even in the midst of struggle. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring your challenges. It means recognizing that, even in hard times, there's always something to be thankful for. Start each day with gratitude. Take a moment to think of 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big. Maybe it's a roof over your head, a kind word from a friend, or the simple fact that you woke up today. Gratitude shifts your perspective. It helps you see the good in your life and gives you strength to keep fighting. When you practice gratitude, you're not just changing your mindset, you're changing your life. Gratitude reminds you that no matter how tough the battle gets, there's always something worth fighting for. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to fight your battles for you. If you want to win the war within, you have to become the hero of your own story. You have to take responsibility for your life, your choices, and your future. Being your own hero doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It doesn't mean you'll never feel fear, doubt, or pain. It means you show up anyway. It means you keep fighting, even when it's hard. It means you take control of your narrative and refuse to be a victim of circumstance. Every hero's journey is filled with challenges, but those challenges are what make the hero strong. They're what shape the hero into someone capable of overcoming anything. You have that strength within you. The question is, will you use it? Victory in the war within doesn't mean you never struggle. It doesn't mean you never feel fear, doubt, or pain. It means you don't let those things stop you. It means you keep fighting, keep growing, and keep moving forward. Every day is a battle. Some days will be harder than others. Some days you'll feel like giving up. But remember, victory is not won in a single day. It's won through consistent effort, through small wins, through unwavering resilience. When you look back on your life, you'll realize that every struggle, every setback, every moment of doubt was worth it, because those moments made you stronger. They made you wiser. They made you unstoppable. The war within you is the hardest battle you'll ever face, but it's also the most rewarding, because when you win this war, you don't just change your life, you change who you are. Change is terrifying, but it's also necessary. If you want to win the war within, you have to confront the uncomfortable truth that your life will not improve unless you're willing to change. Change doesn't come easily. It challenges everything you know, everything you're used to, and everything that feels safe. But comfort and growth cannot coexist. The war within thrives on resistance to change. It's the voice that tells you, this is just how things are. But that's a lie. Things are the way they are because you've allowed them to be. You are not a tree. You are not rooted in one place, unable to move. You have the power to make different choices, to create a different reality. Change starts with a single decision. It starts with saying, I'm done settling. I'm done making excuses. I'm ready to do what it takes. It's not about overhauling your life in a day. It's about making consistent, small adjustments that lead to big transformations over time. Change is scary, but staying the same is scarier. The life you dream of is on the other side of fear. Discomfort is the price of admission for greatness. It's the feeling you get when you step out of your comfort zone, when you push yourself harder than ever before, when you face challenges that seem impossible. Most people avoid discomfort at all costs, but those who win the war within know that discomfort is where the magic happens. Think about it. The moments in your life that shaped you the most were not the easy ones. They were the moments when you had to dig deep, when you faced uncertainty, when you didn't know if you could do it, but you did it anyway. That's where growth happens. That's where strength is built. Discomfort is not your enemy. It's your ally. It's a sign that you're doing something meaningful. Embrace it. Lean into it. Let it remind you that you're alive, that you're capable, that you're moving forward. The more comfortable you become with discomfort, the more unstoppable you'll be. In the war within, patience is your secret weapon. We live in a world of instant gratification, where we expect results immediately. But real change takes time. Growth is a process, not a destination. And patience is what keeps you going when progress feels slow. Think of your goals like planting a tree. You can't expect it to grow overnight. You have to nurture it, water it, and give it time. The same is true for yourself. Every action you take, every small win, every step forward is like watering your tree. It may not seem like much at first, but over time, those small actions will create something incredible. Patience doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. It means trusting the process. It means understanding that the hard work you're putting in now will pay off, even if you can't see it yet. Stay consistent, stay committed, and know that the results will come. Action is the ultimate weapon in the war within. You can think, plan, and dream all you want, but nothing changes until you take action. Action is what turns ideas into reality. It's what separates those who succeed from those who talk about succeeding. The enemy within loves to keep you stuck in a cycle of overthinking. It whispers, what if it doesn't work? What if you fail? What if you're not ready? But action silences those doubts. It doesn't matter if your first step is messy or imperfect. What matters is that you take it. Start small if you need to. Take one step forward, no matter how insignificant it seems. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates progress. The more you act, the more confidence you build. And the more confidence you build, the easier it becomes to keep moving forward. You don't fight the war within alone. The people you surround yourself with have a massive impact on your mindset, your motivation, and your success. Some people will lift you up, inspire you, and push you to be your best. Others will drag you down, feed your doubts, and keep you stuck. Take a look at the people in your life. Are they helping you win the war within, or are they part of the enemy's arsenal? It's not always easy to distance yourself from toxic relationships, but sometimes it's necessary. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who challenge you, and who remind you of your potential. And remember, it's not just about what you take, it's about what you give. Be the kind of person who inspires and uplifts others. Be the kind of person who helps others win their own battles. When you lift others, you lift yourself. The war within is not fought at full intensity every day. Just like a soldier needs rest to recharge for the next battle, you need rest to maintain your strength. Rest is not weakness, it's strategy. It's what allows you to keep going, to stay sharp, to fight your best fight. Rest doesn't just mean sleep, though sleep is crucial. It means taking time to recharge mentally, emotionally, and physically. It means giving yourself permission to step back, to breathe, to reflect. It means knowing when to push and when to pause. Remember, you're in this for the long haul. Burnout is not a badge of honor. It's a sign that you're not fighting smart. Prioritize rest, and you'll find yourself stronger, sharper, and more resilient in the battles ahead. The ultimate goal of the war within is not just to overcome your struggles, it's to become unstoppable. It's to reach a point where nothing can break your spirit, where no challenge can hold you back, where you know deep down that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. Becoming unstoppable doesn't mean you'll never face obstacles. It doesn't mean you'll never feel fear, doubt, or pain. It means you'll face those things and keep going. It means you'll rise every time you fall. It means you'll refuse to give up, no matter how hard it gets. To become unstoppable, you must commit to a lifetime of growth. You must embrace the challenges, the setbacks, and the struggles as opportunities to become stronger. You must believe in yourself, even when no one else does. You must fight for the life you deserve, no matter what. Because the war within is not just about winning a battle. It's about transforming yourself into the person you were always meant to be. There comes a time when you have to decide. A time when all the distractions, all the excuses, all the doubts have to fade away. A time when you say, enough is enough. That time is now. Lock in. You've spent too long talking about what you're going to do. Too long waiting for the perfect moment. Too long making plans and setting goals without real execution. You've been thinking about it for years. When will you start doing? Because here's the truth. Nobody cares about your dreams until you make them real. Nobody is going to come hand you success Nobody is going to wake you up at 5 a.m., push you to work harder, and make sure you don't quit. That's your job. And the moment you take full responsibility for your future, that's when things start to change. This is where most people fail. They want the rewards without the sacrifice. They want the success without the struggle. They want the results, but aren't willing to pay the price. But you're different.